Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Stuff I Heard podcast. I am your host, Josh Peak, and just wanted to have a minute here with you guys to tell you about all the fun stuff going on in the world. Um, if you are anywhere in the path of Hurricane Laura, I hope you guys are okay. There was a huge hurricane that hit Texas and Louisiana and Arkansas and Mississippi. All those states were really, really affected. Um, Directly, I mean, I think it hit between Louisiana and Texas. I'm not sure. I didn't really watch it 100%, but I do know how devastating hurricanes can be. We here in South Carolina have hurricanes all the time, and we're sort of conditioned to be respectful, but also, I don't know, a little not respectful of hurricanes, if that makes any sense. Um, so here's the thing. To me, a hurricane is the perfect thing that will come a long way away. It's a natural disaster. It's a long way away. It sort of announces it's coming like a week out. Hey guys, I'm going to be blowing through your area. It's going to be really bad. Just want to let you guys know. But it's also sort of like having a neighbor's dog that's really angry at you. I mean, it can bark and you know it's over there, but it's like, it's chained up. Might not even go after me. Might not even get to me. Hmm. You respect the dog. You still look at the dog and you're like, better keep my eye on this dog just in case it gets loose, just in case it comes my way. That's kind of how we feel about hurricanes. I mean, at any given moment, they can turn on you and they can strengthen and they can be powerful and they can really wreak havoc. And I think that's what's happened with Hurricane Laura. Um, there was this weird thing about two hurricanes hitting the area, and they're like, it's going to create one giant twirling, swirling mega hurricane. And of course, meteorologists right away were like, that's stupid. No, that's not a thing. They actually show on the models how the hurricanes, their patterns of twirling actually cancel each other out and actually weaken each other. I mean, I don't get it. I guess people are looking for anything chaotic now to go, see, I told you it was going to be bad. I told you blah, blah, blah was going to happen. Whatever. I think the first one came through as like a category 1, which isn't that bad. It's just a lot of wind and some ocean swell and some lightning and that kind of stuff. And then Laura increased to a category 4, and I remember the night before they were like, if this thing goes to a 5, this is going to be awful. So there was a big focus on it, and everybody was keeping their eye on it just in case it got dangerous. And I think when it finally made landfall, it was a category 4. What is my screen telling me? My screen just popped up with something. I don't want to do that right now. Why is my computer suddenly turning on me? Aggravating thing. Anyway, so this thing hit land at a 4 and it devastated everything it came into contact with. Now we've had, like I said, quite a few hurricanes, especially in like the last, 10 years or so. And I've filmed a good bit of them here in our house whenever they've come really close. We've had some wind blow down trees. We've had them blow off shutters off the front of the house. I even recorded one whenever they blew shingles off the roof, and I had to go down and chase shingles flying down the road. It was kind of a big deal, you know. Um, so I feel bad for anybody that got hit by this hurricane or affected by this hurricane. I know what it's like firsthand. I mean, the worst hurricane that I've ever experienced was Hurricane Hugo. I want to say it was maybe 1989, maybe. I don't know. This is the Stuff I Heard podcast. If you want the Stuff I Know podcast about meteorology, that's a different podcast altogether. You got to look up the certain URL for that, and you got to hold up your tongue and send a self-addressed stamped envelope to, George down in Hickox, and then he'll mail you back some secret decoder rings and send you the location of the HTML for that. But anywho, so Hurricane Hugo hit, and it was really bad. I mean, we live in Florence, which I think Hugo hit directly at Folly Beach. And then when it come up the coast, I mean, we're good probably 2 hours from Charleston as the crow flies. And it devastated our little town. I mean, our house alone had 3 tornadoes that curled right around it and took down trees all around us. I mean, and me, I was, I don't know, 15 at the time, and I slept through it. I didn't hear anything. I was tired. I went to sleep, woke up the next morning. It was chaos. My mom was an ER nurse at the time. She needed to get out to go to the hospital to go to work. We had a chainsaw. I think my stepdad either bought a chainsaw or borrowed a chainsaw from somebody, and we had to cut a path for her to get to the hospital. This is before people had cell phones. So it wasn't like she could just go down the road and call you and be like, this road's canceled. I can't go this way. Can I go this other way? You couldn't do that. You just had to go out and figure it out. And it was rough. And so we like made a path for her to get to the hospital so that she could help the people who were injured and who needed care. And then we commenced to cleaning up for a very long time. I remember school was canceled for a while and nobody had power. Like we were all huddled over at my stepdad's mom's house because she had a generator, and I didn't even know she had a generator at the time. I was young and really unaware of it, but that was where we congregated to eat meals and have showers and that kind of stuff. And we were so dog beat tired, I don't think it would have mattered one way or another. We would have just gone there to rinse off and go to sleep because it was every day cleanup, every day. So again, I feel really horrible for the people involved. If you live anywhere near the coast, if you have never experienced a hurricane and it starts to come your way, especially if you live near the coast, once it gets to a 3, start thinking about getting away from the coast. If you're about an hour in from the coast and it gets to a 4, you might want to leave there too. If it gets to a 5, listen, if you're 400 miles away, get out of there because it's going to just basically wipe you out. Um, Hurricanes are real. They do give you plenty of warning. But again, like that angry dog that your neighbor has, you got to keep an eye on it because you don't know when it's going to turn on you. Good point. All right. So let's focus and change directions here. Let's talk about stuff I watched. I know this is stuff I heard, but let's talk about stuff I watched. I got to see a show called Lucifer that was on Netflix. It's the final season. Um, this show used to be on Fox, and when it originally came on regular TV, I thought it was an interesting concept. You know, it was pitched as, what if the devil came to Earth for a vacation and decided he didn't want to leave? What if? It's kind of an interesting concept, right? And of course, you know, they take some civil liberties with their artistic, version of the show, and it's interesting. It's just an interesting idea for a show. Um, there's certain parameters of things he can do and things he can't do, and listen, I enjoy the show. I know there's a lot of people out there that are, Bible thumpers, and they're like, this is wrong. You shouldn't watch this show because it's called Lucifer. Listen, it's a neat show. It's kind of like a superhero show in a way, but it's not really a superhero. If that makes any sense. He's not meant to be likable, even though he is kind of likable. And I don't know. It's just an interesting depiction of a story set in modern times. If that makes any sense. The show was pretty popular on Fox, but after the 3rd season, they decided to cancel it due to low ratings. Now, they had a strong presence online that brought it back on Netflix for season 4, and it was great. Netflix put their little spin on it. It was pretty edgy. It was pretty over the top with some language and some violence and some nudity and that kind of stuff. And it was a grown up show. They put a little extra edge onto it to kind of distance themselves from Fox. And they decided that, hey, this isn't really a storyline that we can do a lot with, but we do have some viewership. So let's just wrap this up. I'm sure everybody's tired of playing these parts anyway. So they recorded season 5. Now, season 5 is going to be 2 parts. And the first part came out this past week. 8 episodes. I burned through them pretty quickly in like a day. I'm ashamed to say it. Listen, I watched them all in a row. I binged them. They were great. It was pretty entertaining. But, I enjoy the show. I enjoy watching it. The characters are interesting. The storyline is interesting. It's fun to see their growth a little bit, even though some episodes are very soap opera-ish. They did something different this season with a flashback episode where the characters that we know and watch play different people. And I thought that was pretty interesting because they did the whole thing in black and white. Very artistic. Nice little spin. And there's a big conflict that leads up to a nice meeting point for the end of the first half of the last season. It's a lot of words. I just realized I said a lot of words to say that it ain't over. There's more episodes coming. They just kind of gave you the teaser of this is what we got out right now. And maybe they did that because of COVID. Maybe they did that strategically because they were like, we know you guys want some. We got to work on the special effects. It's going to take some time. Here's 8 episodes. Enjoy. We got 8 more coming. I mean, I'm guessing it's 8 more. I don't really know. But anywho, so that was good. That was fun. I've been watching a lot of The Office. I can't say that I find the same joy that my brother has in this show, but it's growing on me. I laughed a lot last night. I'm on, I don't know, season 7, I think. There's like 9 seasons. Now, the cool part is this is on Netflix, so I don't have to watch any commercials. I can skip past the intro. I don't have to watch the ending credits. So the show's only about 20 or so minutes long. So you can go through episodes pretty quickly. You don't have to get too invested. It's not one of those shows you got to follow super closely. But it's good. In the beginning, I was against it. In the beginning, I hated it. But the more I watch it, the more I'm starting to like these characters. Especially season 7. I really enjoyed the snowball fight episode. That was hilarious. So yeah, it's growing on me. What can I say? I'm going to keep watching. There are lots of new shows coming out I want to watch, but finding the time is another thing. Just got to be able to find the time, right? Some things I've listened to. I've listened to a lot of Whitney Cummings again. Still listening to her talk to Amanda Cosgrave. Yeah, something like that. What is it, Miranda Cosgrove? I think that's her name. She was on iCarly, and Miranda Cosgrove. Yeah, she's on iCarly, and she was on Drake and Josh, and she apparently now has a music career. Who did thunk it? But yeah, pretty fascinating. I haven't had time to get to much. I've been very, very busy. I did see that Joe Rogan is announcing his move to Spotify, and I think that's supposed to take place in September. The question I have is, how am I going to watch videos? Because I like watching Joe's YouTube videos of the podcast. Where is that going to be now? Because if you go on Spotify, there's nothing there for videos. Like, I mean, maybe that's the platform. Maybe that's why they spend $100 million is to try to bring more people to their platform for that kind of stuff. Is there a way that I should be publishing on Spotify? I mean, I already am with the podcast, but I mean, as far as video, do I need to do a video on there? Is there something I should do? Anybody out there that's got some info on that, reach out to me and let me know like what I could do to kind of bridge that gap. Because I'm interested. I mean, this is one of those things where if you don't adapt and overcome, then you're going to be left behind, right? So help me, help you, just help me. if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'm going to end this early. This is just going to be a quick one. Okay. I know I do a lot of them that are 30 minutes to 5 hours, somewhere in that range. This is just going to be a quick one. Okay. Because I'm tired. I've been up since 2. I'm going to go to sleep now. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the podcast. I will be back to do more. Just be patient with me. It's coming. I'm doing it mainly out of obligation and also because I wanted to talk about the hurricane and, you know, all that fun jazz. Take care. Say hi to your mom and them. And as always, cue the cow.
So I want you guys to give me more likes. Give me more likes.